So the projected lineup, I took this from Facebook, and I'm sure it was like Svoboda that was the admin behind this, right?
Yeah.
Because we follow our guys. We got Hedger, we got Portsy. Svoboda is obviously Jackets insider, so he probably he's probably the biggest beat writer out of the three of them.
Yeah, he does a lot of his stuff for NHL.com, I believe, too.
Just so he's working like directly with the league website and all of that kind of stuff. So he probably knows the most.
I would say so.
At least like complete directly with the team, right? So projecting the lineup. First line, they've got Boone centering Johnny and Laine.
And that's what I imagine will happen. I know a lot of people want to see us just immediately throw Cole Sillinger out there on that top line with those two. I think
he's going to need to ease his way in there because, like, we know
just because he played in a lot of games last year and was really good in them does not mean that you just to the Wolves on the first freaking line with those two.
No, and you don't. You don't do that.
You know Boone can handle it.
Boone drives defensive play.
No, he doesn't.
I mean, he's probably the most defensively responsible out of.
He's more defensively responsible than Laine, but Gaudreau is way more defensively responsible than those two.
And I mean, so Boone's going to be your net front guy.
He was Boone was more defensively responsible than Voracek.
Yeah, he was.
If we're talking about that line, then you would actually be correct about that. His 10% defense is just a little better than the 5% from those two.
Oh man. So yeah, 13, 38, and 29 to start the top line.
I think it fits.
It makes the most sense.
You've got your complete package on the left side in Johnny Gaudreau, who has a great shot.
Who's the cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop. You've got your unbelievably skilled goal scorer who's gifted with one of the best shots in the National Hockey League. And then you've got your leader, your captain, your physical pain in the ass to play against guy who is incredibly underrated at driving offense.
Boone is going to open up so much room for those two to just play.
I think he can get. I think Boone is absolutely a 60-point player next year.
Boone is over there, sure, he's going to produce his points, and I would say yes, he's going to probably hit as long as he stays healthy, because he was going to do it last year.
Mm-hmm.
He can do it this year.
I think he will,
and he's going to just open up so much ice for those two wings to just toy with everybody.
Yeah, and he gives a cool, nice net front presence for both JG and for Laine too.
Yeah, if they can't get anything going, Jenner's there to bang it right back in.
Yeah, he's going to be there. He is going to score 20-plus goals next year, and about 15 of them are going to be on rebounds.
Yeah, and they're going to be
rebounds or deflecting shots in.
They're going to be literally right there by the crease.
Yes, they're going to be some of the greasiest goals you've ever seen.
Second line is Gus Nyquist, Jack Roslovic, and Jake Voracek.
I don't mind that. That is also that turns into your new no defense line.
Yeah,
that is a line that is going to trade chances, but they're going to provide some offense. So I think that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little bit of you get two playmakers on the wings for Roslovic, who's more of a goal scorer. So I think I don't mind that.
Yeah, and we know that Gus can play literally anywhere in the lineup.
Yeah. You can play him. There's flexibility with Nyquist.
Yeah. Third line is Frenchman Texier, Cole Sillinger, and Kirill Marchenko.
Love this line.
Dude, Kirill making it right out of camp.
Did I show you the...
Can you imagine?
The player comparison card for Kirill Marchenko?
You might have. It's probably been a while.
Is the one that it goes by what your production was your first year, your draft year, your +1, +2, +3 years after being drafted, and how your charts project in terms of star potential and just NHL potential. And
I remember what those look like. Yes, I don't remember what Marchenko.
And they try and find the player who's in the league whose chart looks as similar as possible. And
yes. I don't remember who his comparable was now.
Johnny Gaudreau.
Oh my God. We have 2 Johnny Gaudreaus.
Could you imagine if he actually turned into that kind of player? I'm not saying he's going to become Johnny Gaudreau. I think he's going to be a good player. I don't think he's going to be that good, but could you imagine if we got...
No, okay. Listen, if he plays that exact same kind of style, put those 2 together. Please.
But the problem is...
I just want to...
You got to have Johnny with Laine.
With Patty, yeah. But still, I want to see Marchenko and Gaudreau to get, like, as soon as Marchenko develops that kind of game, I do want to see them together like that for a little bit just to see how that would look.
I think that Kirill Marchenko is another wrinkle into the Bjorkstrand trade where there's confidence in his ability to replace him, I think.
Yeah.
I think Kirill Marchenko could become an Oliver Bjorkstrand replacement, 100%.
Oh yeah, I mean we've been high on this guy for a long time.
Been waiting for him.
Yeah, exactly, and it's nice that he's been over here in North America. He was able to escape Russia. Mm-hmm. Which side note, Kaprizov did come back, so he's back. Yeah, thank God. And fourth line is, I do like this line for the most part. Robbie on the left, Sean at center, KJ on the right.
This is where it becomes interesting for the Blue Jackets this season, is finding a place for Kent Johnson to play. Yeah. They don't want to throw him to the Wolves the same way they don't want to throw Cole Cylinder to the Wolves. Mm-hmm. You have your locked-in number 1 center in Boone, and you have your locked-in number 4 center in Sean Kuraly.
Yes.
So what that does is that takes away your opportunities for these guys to play center, because they want Cole in the center position, I think, for the third line. And it's kind of take Jack Roslovic out of that second line role. So
yeah,
we're going to see some shifting with it. I wouldn't be surprised if KJ's lower, even if he is in the fourth line to start the season.
Yeah,
he will get his chances later on to move up, depending on injuries or players if they're sick or just playing well, moving up in the lineup. Mm-hmm. So he'll get his chances, but I understand why he is so low to start the season.
Yeah, it's just like there's no real, unless he plays better than Marchenko.
And he could. I mean, he was a 5th overall pick. He's really talented. It's just that, that's the other thing is interesting is, like, it's not just that he's playing on the fourth line, it's that he's not playing center. But at the same time, if you're playing on the fourth line, you are not taking over the center position from Sean Kuraly.
Right, exactly.
So
it's just, there's no real other place to fit him.
The Blue Jackets are in that weird situation in they don't have a number 1 center right now. And yet there is a logjam at center.
Right, exactly.
So because the hope is that your number 1 center is either Cole Cylinder or Kent Johnson in the future.
A few years, yes.
So who knows? I'm excited for both of them this season.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not expecting either of them to play a ton of minutes in the top 6.
And we know that KJ can play wing. He played it in college plenty.
Yeah, and ultimately, if Cole Cylinder's good enough to become a number 1 center that they feel comfortable just playing KJ on the wing, play him on the wing. Wherever he feels comfortable, wherever he's playing his best hockey, play him there.
Right. Dude, God, I want to see a second power play unit with Cole and KJ just together.
KJ modeled his game after Johnny Gaudreau, so I wouldn't mind seeing KJ with JJ.
KJ with Johnny? Oh, yeah. Man. Oh, man. So, anyway, the extra forwards, just to list these guys off. We got Justin Danforth. We got Yegor Chinnikov, Brendan Gaunce, Matthew Olivier, probably going to spend most of his time in Cleveland. Carson Meyer. There's Bammer. There's Liam Foodie. Curious case of Liam Foodie, right?
And that's why I throw him in there for that log jam at center. Where do you, because you throw in Danforth in there too, and you throw in Foodie, and it's complicated.
And it's a log jam at the wings too, because again, you got Carson, you got Yegor, you got Danforth, you got
Kirill Marchenko. Because Danforth can play both. He can either play center or wing. Like there's a lot of flexibility for the Blue Jackets roster, which is great, but at the same time, there's a little bit
kind of also not.
You don't want to stunt the growth of any players by not giving them enough time to play.
Right. So there's Bemmer, there's Foodie. Rounding out the extra forwards, there's Patrick's best friend in Yuno Luoto.
I am excited to see what he does. I don't know a ton about his game, but that is an exciting addition to this team. I hope that he had some influence in maybe keeping Patrik around. But
yeah. Okay. Sorry, you got my brain all messed up. Sorry. Defense.
My bad.
Defense. Werenski, Bjorkstrand.
Yep.
Gavrikov, Gudbranson.
It's interesting. I would have to imagine that was their plan when
probably could be
Gudbranson, because people look at him as a third pair defenseman. I as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't think they do.
They didn't sign him to play. They didn't sign him for money. So that's where it's interesting. Like for me, if I were creating the defense, best constructing it, I would keep. Although I've had my issues with him, I would keep Werenski with Peak.
Yep. I
would put Gavrikov with Bjorkstrand.
Okay.
And then I would put Bean with Gudbranson.
Right. Well, it's interesting because Bean and Peak are the third pair in this projection.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, fine.
And the only reason I say that is because I thought Gudbranson, the whole point of him, bringing him in is he's big right-hand shot defenseman who can play minutes. But I thought, like, you're not just bringing him in to be physical, but it's to kind of help along your younger, less physical defenseman. I thought it was supposed to kind of ease things a little bit for Andrew Peak and for Adam Bjorkstrand and for Jake Bean. So I thought it would have made sense for him to play with someone like Jake Bean.
Yeah, I think so too. And, we'll see what they say. Like, it's all up to Lars.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. But in the mix, we got Blankenberg, we got Bayreuther, we got Marcus Bjork, and we got Jake Christensen, which are all guys that I can see eventually taking a spot.
And Chris, and don't get me wrong, Blankenberg's incredibly interesting from what we saw at the end of last season. I loved what I saw from his game, but the other guy I find just as interesting as Jake Christensen. You're looking at
he looked awesome.
Young defenseman, undrafted, playing and looking pretty damn good. Well, during their short time in the National Hockey League, so I'm interested to see what happens there. Those two might be hidden gems that Yarmo and company were able to find.
Oh yeah, and so